Hey, everybody, welcome back to the More Than It Seems podcast. I know we've been gone for a little while, but we'll definitely get into that. But you already know how we get down. We have to start with what we're wearing today. Namina, what outfit do you have on today?
So today I'm wearing my hat is by 8 Other Reasons. She's super cute. I did get it for the Beyonce Renaissance concert. I thought it was really fitting because of the silver little sparkles that's on it. My denim jacket is by Reclaimed Vintage. And then I have on these matching Stradivarius jeans. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the, the brand name, but they are wide leg. And I finished them off with my vintage Italian leather boots.
Nice. And I went with a vintage Levi's jacket with a thick cut flannel underneath. I think this is H&M. Vintage Wonder Woman shirt with my Juniverse wide leg pants, which I have these really nice seams and designs on them, and then I just finished it off the look with some high Tacova boots. We kind of just went with a more Western thing, just based on Louis Vuitton's recent collection that Pharrell did, the more of a workwear Western vibe that went with that. So we just kind of in that mood today. And then kind of just want to get into where we've been. We've been kind of handling life together as of lately, and I want to put key emphasis on together. We moved in together at the end of October, early November, and since then we've kind of just been trying to handle that and, filling out the place and things like that. But Namina, just kind of want to get into it. What's the experience been like so far? How do you enjoy living with me or not enjoy living with me?
Wait a second. They're like, ooh, give me all the tea. I'm weak. It's definitely been really fun living with Terrence and just finding a new normal because, we've been living apart from each other since we started dating. And I think just blending our lives together has been really nice, blending our styles together and just finding a nice tone to set in the house. We have our cat Ash. She runs the place. We just live there.
Facts. Yeah, I'll definitely say the transition hasn't been that hard considering before this, we've all 2 years prior, we lived up the street from each other. So it was if I came over, I was literally walking over to your place. And then if you came over, it's just hop in a step or whatever. We were already at each other's places all the time. So it's not that much different. It's just now it's just oh, you get home from work, I'm still there. You leave from work, I'm still there.
I love it.
And so on and so forth. But I think so far the funnest part about everything is really decorating, just because we have the same style. So it hasn't been a clashing or a butting of heads. I think the hardest part, honestly, was figuring out from each person what to get rid of, just because, of course, you have your attachments to your certain things. For me, my only stipulation was keeping my coffee table. That was the only thing that I really wanted to keep.
Right.
Everything else, I was we can get new of, or we can replace it. Even my desk and wanting to redo the office. Yeah, for the most part, I feel we definitely kept more of your stuff, but I think you are already on the path of of what we wanted our apartment to be.
Yes, which is very funky, very Art Deco. I love bright colors. I love prints and just mixing and matching that throughout the home. Our house kind of has a safari type vibe going on, very jungly, and the colors just kind of pop so much with that decor that we have.
Yeah, it's if you took a pop art artist and you hey, make us a jungle, that.
Yes.
That's kind of the vibe. We have it's very much so a lot of greens, animal prints and stuff like that, but we try to mix it up with super random stuff. We have a pink hand chair, or certain antiques you pick up, or have really interesting designs and things like that, or the sculptures we choose to put in the apartment. Anything like that, I think that's what makes it's made it really eclectic. It's a little bit all over the place, but it's cohesive at the same time.
Yes.
And I think every room is going to have the same vibe or trending towards the same vibe, but still different. The main room, it's like the zebra rug with our green corduroy couch and stuff like that. But then you go into our room, we're still building out the room, but you know, like the green rug that we got, so like starting to play on that. And then in my and then in the office / media room, having the tiger rug. Then we're gonna switch up what we're gonna do that, and like the bait pillow that aren't camo pillows. Like it all kind of just, it's weird, but it all goes together at the same time.
Exactly. And I think the most enjoyable part too is like when our friends come over and they're like, oh, like I have this red lady statue that's
The thick lady,
in my kitchen, and I've had her for about 4 years. I think I got her when I first moved to Dallas, but all my friends know about this statue and they're like, she is so thick, and I'm like, exactly, she looked just like me.
Oh my goodness.
But I love her so much, and that's what we're trying to just incorporate throughout our house. It's just keeping it fun, keeping it fresh, and just making it like a livable art museum.
That's for sure. Like I definitely think livable art museum, and I can't wait until we get to a point where we decide to upgrade and have a bigger space so we can put like more sculptures and one-off pieces. And like I like when it comes to antiquing, I love like old signage and like things that were like things to be repurposed, like I showed you that newspaper carrier, like that those are really cool. Or I would love to find like old pop-up signs or anything from movies and things like that, just to make our place like even more crazy and weird. Like I think that's the theme, like have it as weird as possible but cohesive, and so it still makes sense.
Yes.
Like there's a lot of stuff, and I won't say a lot of stuff in our apartment, but there's stuff in our apartment that I feel like people would struggle fitting into theirs if they didn't have a certain theme or anything like that. It would just look like it's random. But I feel like even looking at our apartment, it's like it's wild, but it still makes sense.
Yes.
But I think that also kind of blends into how we dress too. Like it's almost like our apartment's full of statement pieces. That's the best.
Like my closet's the same way.
Yeah, like I feel like that's what we kind of went for. Like how many statement pieces can we fit together and it still makes sense?
Exactly.
And so, but the thing I think enjoying the most is we're still not done. So we're still looking for new things to add, and still looking for things that we need to like put together, or things that we need to decorate or figure out. Like one thing is we already do a good job. Like our apartment already has like natural ambient lighting. So like the way things get lit up, like the 3 lights above the dining room table, those work, or the shelf above the shelving it's not really shelving, by the ceiling and all that stuff. But there are a bunch of little nooks and crannies where lights come on in our place already. So I don't feel like we've been in a much rush for it, but I want more ambient lighting, just like random lamps and stuff like that.
Yes, like I went thrifting, which is I feel like a lot of just like nifty little pieces around the house by thrifting and antiquing. But I found this vintage lampshade. It's purple. It has like feathers similar to like what's on my hat, and like gemstones. It's just so cool and so unique. But I don't have a lampstand for it. And Terrence was like, oh, he had this idea of, was it A Christmas Story?
Yeah, from A Christmas
The
Story.
lady leg. And I think we should get that for the lamp. And then I was thinking we could do like a man's leg for my lamp and change out the shade that I already have on this other vintage lamp that I found. But I think that would be super cute. And just the juxtaposition of like you having the lady leg and me having the man leg on my side is...
Yeah, I think that would be really cool. The only thing is like it's hard to find a man leg. Like just because, you know, A Christmas Story, like everyone makes the Christmas leg.
That's true.
So it's hard to find a man leg, and like the ones that I've seen, like I'm just weary of getting scammed. Like I don't want to buy something and it's just like a bad man leg, or it's not what you pictured, or like it's not the same setup as the lady leg.
And trying to get my money back from my bank, like
what would you spend it on?
What did you buy? A man leg.
A man leg, and they're gonna be like, what? But like even the lady leg too, like trying to find more lady legs, but trying to find the right lady leg, or one that is like the proper scale and looks proper. Like I think that's a really hard to do, like in general. Or I feel like finding cool lamps in general that take a shade. Like this day and age, like all kinds of lamps you usually see don't even take a shade anymore. Some type of like LED or whatever.
That's true, yeah.
So finding a good regular old lamp this day and age is hard. Which is, who knew we'd get to this point where you can't find a good crazy lamp anymore.
That's what I'm saying. Thrifting and antiquing, that's the best way to get these things.
So I think something else that is going to kind of spur our imagination even more is our TV console.
Oh, yes.
Whenever we order that, just because there's so many different like weird shape holes and there's so many things you could sit on top of it and so on and so forth. So we'll definitely have to order that and figure that out. And that's probably a place where we can put more lighting maybe into one of the little cubby holes, just because at this point, like the more lighting we can fit in there, the better. Like I think with the way our apartment's set up is, since we don't have an overhead light in there, they made it to where all your lighting is ambient.
It's very moody in the apartment. Like
Naturally.
you have to, like during the day, it's perfect because we can open up our shades. Like we live on the 15th floor, so we get a lot of sunlight when it is sunny outside, and which is perfect for my plants. But as soon as the sun goes down, it's like super dark, very moody. The lighting's like yellowish. But I think we want more like bright lighting. I love the ambient lighting because lights hurt my eyes at a certain point. Like at night, I just want to dim it down and just try to unwind and relax. And so I love the ambient lighting. But, you know, if we start having friends over and stuff like that, it's just nicer to have something like more bright and not everybody just sitting there in the dark looking at each other like,
We know, like our friends come over and we're all like, damn, why y'all trying to set the vibe already? Like,
right, exactly.
We're like, God damn, y'all got a moody in
play
here.
some smooth jazz for
facts. Like it's super. Like even when you come home, like I think anywhere else I would live or I have lived in the past, I'm super conscious about, let me cut these lights off before I go, or let me make sure all these lights are off. But the way our apartment set up is like, we always leave like the 3 lights on, or
I don't know about the 3. I try to leave at least 1 for Ash, so she's not completely in the dark.
No, I meant like the 3 lights, the ones above our dining room table, because like you can dim them, so I'll cut them on.
I'm like, life is expensive. That electricity bill, sir.
Right. So like I'll cut those lights on and then I'll dim them like to either midway or below that, just because it's like you come home so you can see and all that stuff. But for the most part, all of, like I said, like it's really crazy, and I feel like we still need to figure out what them 2 switches do. But
I don't like the way that the lighting, or like, it's weird in our apartment. Like the switches are on like complete opposite side of the house where you expect them to be for the light that it turns on. Like, or like there's not enough plugs in certain areas. I really wish
quirky.
they were.
Like the apartment is for sure quirky.
Yes.
Like there are certain things that definitely don't make sense, or like, you wish it had. Like I wish you could control our lights by like our bedroom door.
Yeah.
I feel like there should be a light switch like there, because like at nighttime when I'm like, oh crap, I forgot some lights on, I gotta walk all the way over there, cut them off, and then cut my phone light on so I don't. Like,
it's so dark.
Like it's so dark.
Gonna run into something, break my other pinky toe.
Right. But on top of that, like looking into our audio setup, like getting a record player. That way, I feel like if we get a record player, that'll definitely steer us into like building out either whether we want to do surround sound or just getting like better audio speakers in there. Just for like a little heads up, I'm a bit of an audiophile, so like I love audio, I love music, I love different things like that. So I've always dreamed of like having a really cool setup in either our living room or like having a dedicated room just for music listening. That would be really fire one day. But definitely need a record player, just because we've been picking up records lately and kind of going down that path. I was already collecting records for the most part, but we went to an event called CD Club here in Dallas, and it's kind of a once a month review of a specific album coming out during like the CD era for the most part, which has been really cool. But we went there. What was the name of it? Spinster Records.
I think so. That sounds right.
Yeah, I think it's at Spinster Records, but we went in there and we were just like, Namina saw a bunch of records. She was like, I gotta get these.
I got a Rihanna. Was it Anti?
I think it was Anti.
No, it was her Diamond. Was it Anti?
I believe it was Anti. I think it was the last one she released. It was it was Anti.
I got her album, and then I got a Mac Miller swimming album. I really wanted to get the Divine Feminine, but they didn't have that in at the time. So the lady put me down in for notifications whenever they get it. But It did come out. I just never bought it, which I need to because that's one of my favorite albums. But that goes to say, like, we have all these records, no record player.
Facts. I've been grabbing records for a minute, and no record player. Like, I think the first set of albums that I bought and I didn't have a record player, I got dude, what did I get? I got Bone Crusher's first album. I got Yo Gotti's first. I like Yo Gotti's first album. I think Back to the Basics, and I got Clips, Laura Willing. Yeah, I got those 3 albums, and then shortly after that, I'm pretty sure I got what is it? Childish Gambino's. Which one is it? Stone Mountain and Kawhi. I got those, and then I think I got 21 Savage Mode. Just
a bunch.
I kept getting a bunch of albums, and then I think when we went to Spencer Records, I bought more, and I was like, okay, now we have to get a record player just because we have all of this music and we just can't listen to it like in its current format. What else do we still need to do? Like build out the office and turn that into like our media room.
Yes, we're still, for the most part, in the living room and our bedroom, for the most part, is unpacked. But the office is not. There's some things like I need to get rid of. Like I was trying to sell my stuff on Facebook Marketplace, which great place to find things. We found this really nice, like white, like it looked like it was just melting. Like
it was a
table.
Oh yeah, the melting. Oh, the black melting table. Oh yeah, that was the first one we found.
We hit this guy up and we were like, we will come pick this table up today. We will pay you full price. And then he was like, oh, he was trying to coordinate a time with Terrence. And then did he end up selling it?
No, so that wasn't the black melting table. So what happened with the black melting table? I believe. I found the black melting table. I sent it to you, and we really just didn't act on it for real. Like we saved it, like, and either we were out of town at the time, or we were prepping for our family to come into town. And between all the money getting spent for that, we were just like,
ooh, the money.
Yeah, we were just like, whatever about this table. Then there was the white table you're talking about was like this Scandinavian, like weird table. And it just had this really weird shape and everything like that. And I hit the guy up saying, hey, I can get it this time. Oh, yeah,
that's the blob table.
Yeah, like the blob table. Like, I hit him up and I was like, hey, I can get it. Pretty much like, I can come and get it tomorrow. I was like, I'll send you money right now to reserve it. Like, tell me how much you want right now for it, and I'll reserve it. Like, obviously, that's taking a chance because I could have sent him money and he could have never hit me back. But I was just saying, like, I was like, hey, because we wanted the table that bad. And then I hit him up the next day, and he was just like 3 times, no response. So I know, I know he sold it to somebody else. And
either that, or he just decided to keep it for himself.
Man, nah.
You try to get rid of something, you go back through your boxes where you're like, maybe I should keep this. Hold on to this a little longer.
I have a feeling that somebody was like, I'll get it today. And he was like, bet. Like, so, I mean,
snooze,
it is what
you
it
lose.
Is. You snooze, you lose. So either we'll look out for another table, or if not, like, it's not like we necessarily needed the table. It was just like we wanted another one so we could move my table that we have in the living room into the office. I
definitely say, like, just trying to decorate a house can be overwhelming and like seemingly super expensive. Like, I am a bargain shopper, and if I'm gonna find something online, it's got to have a coupon, it's got to be discounted somehow. Like, I am trying to get things for the low, but it still be really good quality. And so I definitely suggest, if you are in the process of moving, or looking to get rid of your furniture and getting something new, starting afresh, definitely check out Facebook Marketplace. If you have the patience to, antiquing or thrifting is an amazing option. And then also, like, Overstock and Etsy, and also Amazon. You can find some really great things off of that. Like, great quality, prices are super low.
And I definitely think everything has its place, right? So, like, when you're on Facebook Marketplace, like, for me, I don't mind, like, everyone's different, right? So, like, Namina's very picky about used stuff. Like, she, like,
yes,
it also depends on, like, what it is. Like a couch, I don't think Namina would ever do a used couch unless it was, like, I feel like a true vintage couch, right?
If it was leather,
yeah,
yes.
like
if
vintage.
It's cloth, I don't know. Even since I was a kid, like if there's like stain somehow, it just gives me the ick.
Okay, what if it's just
Even if I can clean it, like I don't want it.
So what if it's a vintage couch, no stains, and you got it professionally like steam cleaned?
I mean, then I would get that, but I think a lot of things that people try to pass off as vintage are really just needing to be thrown away and like not ever used again by another human being. But if it's like in great quality, of course, like I want to look at it first, but I'm very weary about sitting on couches and chairs and like that are old. It just bed bugs.
But also off Facebook, like I agree off Facebook Marketplace. But if I went to like an antique store, and
it's curated. If it's a good antique store, you can be an antique store and just be selling crap.
Yeah, that's true too.
But you can also be an antique.
Listen. Dang, did we just come discover something?
Did we? Antique stores? I mean, you can have curated thrift stores.
No, I'm just saying, but
antiques are more high end, better quality. Because if
typically, when you say thrift store, I don't want to call it crap because people like
they just accept like, anything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a thrift store is like an antique store, like a low quality antique store.
Yes.
Okay, that's fair.
Maybe you just discovered this.
No, because you don't put them like, you know what I'm saying.
You don't ever think about it. It's like eureka.
You're very specific. Like whenever, if someone said, "Do you want to go thrifting?"
I'm thinking like store. It may not be
I'm thinking
organized.
I'm thinking thrift store. If someone said, "I want to go antiquing,"
very curated.
I'm thinking antique stores.
Yes.
I'm specifically thinking antique stores. Matter of fact, like I'm not thinking anything else. Like if you take me outside of like this is not.
Yes. One of my favorites, and I can't remember the name of this antique store to save the life of me, but it's like a small like mom and pop shop in North Dallas. When I first moved here, I was just looking for things to include in my house, just trying to, upgrade my decorations and stuff. And I found this really cool vintage mirror, and the man was like, "You look like you really like this," and gave it to me for 50% off. And I'm like, that thing had to have been sitting in that store for a minute, but love the discount. But also, I can't find anything like that just trying to go buy something new, and I like the character. Like, it looks old. The gold is kind of worn and tatted. Like, it's cool.
Yeah, we need to go, where is it? Lulu's?
Lula Bees?
Lula Bees?
Yes, they have 2 different stores.
Man,
they sell clothes in there too.
Well, we went to both, didn't we? We went to both in one day.
We did go to both. They do support other like upcoming designers in Dallas. Like if you make soaps, they just sell really anything. Like if you make cool soaps, good smelling soaps, clothes, anything.
I saw it when we went there. They took a
I got my Furby from there.
They took this old one of them old gigantic radios. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I remember that.
Yeah, it's like the size of a dresser, essentially. But that's how the radios used to look back in the day. And they made it Bluetooth. I was like, that's crazy.
That was really crazy.
I would love to have something like
Wasn't it like $1,000 or something?
It was like $1,000.
It was expensive.
But granted, it's a vintage. Like, I feel like you spend $1,000 on just the size of it. Because when it's something that size, at that point, it's not just a radio. It's like, that's a shelf. You can put stuff on top of it. Like, and then, just the pure mass, and it's made out of wood. But what else so the office, meeting room, we need to get that together, which I'm really excited for that because it'll be cool to have we'll have another place to chill and hang out in the house outside of the living room.
Yes.
And we can actually, I want to get into gaming more, and then, like we need to get like a Switch. You have your GameCube in there, which is gonna be fun because what I'm saying, we can play Double Dash, we can play Smash
Double
Brothers.
Dash. What's Double Dash?
Mario Kart Double Dash. Oh my!
I know about Mario Kart. Don't shoot me down, y'all. Know how y'all like to tussle on the internet. Hold up, wait.
So
y'all
Mario
get
Kart
me
Double
beat
Dash.
up?
So that's the every era of Nintendo had its own Mario Kart. So like in N64 had its own Mario Kart, and
I don't know about Double Dash. I just know about Mario Kart.
Yeah, so Mario Kart it's the same thing in like I guarantee you have played it. If you had a GameCube, I guarantee you have played it. But
I never had no Mario games. I had Barbie.
But I know you played. But I'm sure you've been to someone's house that played a GameCube and you played it.
No,
you never played.
None
Mario
of my
Kart.
friends had a GameCube. I was the only kid that had the GameCube, or out of my friend circle. I had a Barbie horse game. I had Crash Bandicoot, and I had like Need for Speed.
There's no wait. We'll have to.
What?
Because Crash Bandicoot was only on PlayStation.
Is it only on PlayStation?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm conflicting. I'm sorry, y'all.
Ooh wee. Yeah, we gonna. Have
What's
to get
that PlayStation?
We're gonna have to get you
Listen,
together.
I haven't played games in how old am I? 27. Ooh wee.
Yeah, when's the last
A
time?
whole
When's the last time you
2
played a video game?
decades ago. When was the last time I played a game?
Yeah,
like
when-
sat down, and was like, I'm gonna play this game.
Yeah, when's the last time you played a video game?
I had to been about 12.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have free time like that. I feel like when I am stationary, I just want to sit, like ask Terrence, I just want to sit and I want to do nothing. I want to sit and do absolutely nothing. Nursing, it's just like I'm always doing things for people. So then when it's my time, I want to do nothing. I don't play video games like that. I would like to get into it more. I cannot believe I just messed that up. Okay, I did have Crash Bandicoot. We had a PS1 and a PS2 growing up.
Okay.
But most of
that
those
makes
game
sense.
stations were like my brothers, and I just so happened to like play with him. But if he was playing with it, I can just be like, hey, like, let me play with it. He would try to like, if it was like a 2-person game, he would always smoke me. Like, I'd just be like, can you please just take it easy? He never took
No,
it easy
you
on
can't.
me. Yeah.
But like
Builds
even-
character. I never
It
cried though.
Exactly. So, but even I feel like you'd be interested, even because when I'm playing Halo, you be like, this looks fun.
I'm not good at first-person shooter games, but I am good at like racing. Like I love Grand Theft Auto just to drive the cars. Like I'm not good at shooting people because then you get stars and you have to run away from the cops. And like
That's
my
what
brother
adds to
would
the
always
excitement.
like, well, you get like cheat codes and like he'd have a freaking helicopter. And like as soon as I get like 3 stars, I'm just in the helicopter and they're like chasing me through the sky. It's pretty fun. I like that. I don't like Halo or like Call of Duty where you have to like ba-da-da-da-da and you turn around, there's literally somebody there and like
But I feel like
so stressful and I can't get the buttons right. I'm hitting the wrong stuff. Like, oh, I just
think-
want to drive and chill.
I feel like Halo's pretty easy though. Considering that you said this looks fun when I'm playing it,
Yeah. No,
And-
I
and
said
it's-
it's fun to watch.
man, still it's slower paced than every like. That's why I don't play Call of Duty no more. 'Cause
I think the hardest part for me is like when you have the analog stick, which changes your view, and then you have the other analog stick where you have to use to like navigate your person.
Yeah.
And like trying to do both of them at the same time is so hard because I'm like, let me move my character, and then like I'll be looking up at the sky and I'm like, dang, I'm trying to look straight, and it's just like, oh wow, I'm struggling.
yeah, it takes practice, but
We'll see.
yeah. So once we get the media room and all of that set up, we'll definitely have that.
I would like Just Dance or like I love Just Dance. Just Dance.
I think
or
so. I think so.
Dance Revolution.
I
That's
think in that
throwback.
case, then, I feel like you might have like just like your brother. Like I feel like you would enjoy VR.
Oh my gosh, we bought a sandbox. Wait, not sandbox. I'm sorry. The Oculus for my brother for his birthday, and I tried it out, and it's like it really does feel like you're in an alternate universe because everything around you is not real anymore, and it's just like you're in this virtual world. I think
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah, I think,
Depending on what you do. I tried the boxing, and I almost had a heart attack.
yeah, I think like some casual stuff on VR you would probably enjoy. Like you sit on the couch and do, but
Yes.
like once we get the game room set up or all of that set up and the TV console, because I want to put PS5 in the living room. But once we get that set up, I think we'll be on the way. And then of course, like staying within that jungle theme, like more plants. I think that's something we're definitely striving for.
Yes. Well, we have to. So, we have our cat Ash. So, before our families came to visit us for Christmas, we have this, it's like 8-tiered shelf, built-in bookcase shelf in our living room. And I was like trying to figure out how to decorate it, like what to incorporate in there. And so we put a lot of like my Barbies that you've gotten me, and like we have some of our like table books, coffee books, stuff like that. And so we just
a side note, y'all, like I'm not gonna lie. I kind of I forced this on Namina, but at the same time, like it's because I kind of want to do it too. Like the Barbies, I kind of want to like just go ahead and start collecting black Barbies.
Yes.
So
Now
that's-
Lawa had a Bratz collab, and I want that Bratz doll. It's saved on my Walmart, in my Walmart cart.
So
$60.
So far you have like the 1996 Olympic one, and then I got you President Barbie from the Barbie movie.
And I ordered Weird Barbie, which will be here this year in May.
Oh,
it was a pre-order. Yeah.
So was it the one with the like the crazy hair?
Weird Barbie, the one that won the splits.
Yeah,
I
the one in
love
the
her.
splits. Okay.
She's so cute. I can
that's
relate.
super funny. But yeah, like I think that goes into our decor too because we have like a love for pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes us want to get like toys that we had growing up.
Yeah, my troll doll.
Yeah, like
and
yo,
my
you got
little
the troll,
pink Power Ranger.
you got the troll doll, Power Ranger, the pink Power Ranger, which I want to. I don't know if you remember it, but from back in the day, but there were like these Power Ranger toys, and the head flipped around, so it would be like it flipped around, and it would be like their head without the helmet, and then you flipped it again, and it would be like their head with the helmet. But I had one of those, and like it was like a toy from like the late 90s, I'm pretty sure. So I had that, so I want to collect those again, just because you had the Pink Ranger already, and I used to have the white Power Ranger. He used to have this like tiger Megazord or whatever, and I had that as a kid, and I've been seeing like online like them pop up again, so I definitely want to get those.
That's cute.
But you have like that, and you have a Furby, which I had a Furby growing up as well. One is enough, just because it
Furbies?
wakes up randomly, and you
I
move
mean,
them
she
once.
barely wakes up unless you
move it-
touch her
you
ear
move
or
her-
something.
Yeah, you move her one time,
So I
She's ready
think
to get
didn't they
active.
stop selling Furbies because they were like listening in on you or something? Which I've noticed. If I play music and I turn like if I flip her ear and like she's like wah, 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 whatever the heck she does, and I'm like go Furby, like her eyes change and she just starts dancing. But I'm like, how do you know what I'm saying?
see.
She be reacting to things.
But yeah, so a lot of toys that we've gotten that we like. I have. Well, this wasn't really for decoration, but I was Sid from Toy Story for one Halloween, so I got a little Woody doll to carry around, which we have Woody. So at this point in time, I was like, kind of be cool to get Buzz, just because I love Toy Story growing up, and I definitely I had when I was growing up, I had a Slinky. Like
like
the
the
dog.
dog?
Yeah, I had the dog. Like I had
He's
the actual
cute.
dog Slinky. So that was cool. So I definitely, and then the you remember the RC car from the first movie that had the little eyes that Buzz and Woody were on at the end when they were chasing down the car?
Okay, so I'm gonna be real with y'all. The first time I ever saw a Toy Story movie at my big age, I was 13 and I saw it in theaters. And it was the one where like Woody got separated from Andy when Andy was going off to college.
That's like
And
Toy
I cried
Story.
like a baby.
I'm pretty sure that's Toy Story 3.
It is with the big the bear, the pink
bear.
bear.
Yeah, that's
Was
Toy
he
Story.
pink?
I'm pretty sure that is Toy
How
Story.
he remind me of
3.
like a Care Bear, but just like evil.
Yeah, he was an evil Care Bear. I'm pretty sure that was the correlation. Was that Toy Story 3 or was that Toy Story 2?
Did it have a Toy Story 4?
No, Toy Story 2
I'm
was
not
when
hip.
Toy Story. Yes, they did. That's when they had Forky.
Forky. Oh,
Yeah.
Forky. I haven't seen Forky.
I haven't seen Toy Story 4 yet either. Which is crazy. The older you get, like as much as I get hype about these movies coming out, just
Or
because
Forky. Is there a parallel there?
I don't know the parallel. I think from that movie it was more so like talking about like you can make toys out of anything, because he was just like something that got made at the little girl made at school, and she brought it home, and like everyone was like, this isn't a toy, but it was like a toy can be anything.
This is true.
So, and that girl was in love
Don't
with it.
discriminate against Forkies.
It was a little spork.
But yeah, back to the plants. Our cat. We have a really big problem with her attacking my plants that I spend so much time nourishing, talking to, wanting to grow up and live good, healthy lives. I will come into the living room and all I hear is nibble, nibble, nibble. The leaves on my plants are just like just torn to shreds.
Mangled.
She sits
Don't
there
stand
and
a
she just
chance.
nibbles on them. And so we're trying to figure out what type of plants to get. Like, she doesn't touch my snake plant because it's tall and rigid. But those leafy plants that like hang or just, she loves those and she tears them up. And then we have to figure out like what to get that's not toxic to cats. But I want like a big majesty palm in the, she will tear that thing up.
Tear it up.
If it's tall enough, she won't be able to reach it. But
my thing is, I wonder if we get enough things to distract her. Will she not like?
I just don't see that happening.
What if we get her some enough cat grass where she's like?
Yeah, they sell that at Petco. I should get her some, but we bought her this fake palm tree, cat tree, just to try to deter her from touching our plants. And she'll go and scratch on it, and like sometimes I see her nibbling on those leaves, but then she realizes it's fake, and she's a bougie cat. She's like, I want the real things. And so she just goes and tears up my monstera.
Absolutely. So that's the next journey. More plants, more functional plants, because we need sticky plants.
Yes.
Like
when we first moved into our apartment, it was so annoying. I don't know, the person that lived there before us probably like left food and the garbage disposal, but we had a really bad gnat problem, and I feel like now they're dwindling down because we constantly clean the garbage disposal. If I see them flying, I just like clap. You're done, buddy. Out of here.
I think they getting hip too. Like there are people around that are killing us.
Yeah, so let's stop.
Exactly. As well as we need to get our art hung up, and as well as just thinking about more art that we want to hang on the walls and things like that. Amina supplied most of the art for our apartment. It just needs to get framed. So she already had like these really cool African these paintings of African women that I think, what did you do? I think we put those in the bathroom this time.
Yeah, I got those off of Etsy.
We hung those in the bathroom. She has this really dope picture of Grace Jones that we're gonna hang up, as well as like this really like weird picture of a cat.
The ugly cat.
Yeah, the ugly cat picture, which is cool. Like it's like a really more like a pop culture type vibe that is going on with it. Like it's a very, very meme type cat.
Yeah.
And then I just have stuff like I have a couple of different paintings. I think with the stuff that I have, I want a bigger space just because it's like they're paintings that are more sentimental. So I don't, not to say to throw off the vibe or anything like that, but like it's more so within a common space that we're sharing. I don't ever want a space to feel like it's only mine for the most part. Like I want it to feel like, oh, this is something for the both of us. Like, so anything in the media room, I've been conscious about like, what should we hang up in here? What should we save and things like that? Because I have some stuff that's like really big that I just don't want to hang up just anywhere. I feel like it should be in. I feel like it's almost like man cave stuff, and it's just like I'm not at the point for man cave. Like it's shared. It's still shared space. Even my office, even if I work out of there primarily, I want it to be a game media room. So for a place for us to both either escape or work out of.
Agreed. Trying to do some yoga in the game room.
Yeah. So we should be able to easily move a table out of there, or if I'm not working in there, you should feel just as comfortable going in. And if you want to pick up a video game in there and play, or when it comes to like editing the pod or anything like that, I want to shift it more towards that focus in terms of this is our workspace.
Yes.
Especially with you transitioning careers eventually, like who's to say you won't need a space to work out of as well?
Yeah, agreed. I'm so glad that we were able to do this and, start afresh this year, because I know it's been some months since we last released an episode, but again, there's just been so much going on with our lives, so we felt it right and just necessary to
reset,
catch you guys up and let you know like what we've been up to, and that we haven't forgotten about you guys, and hope you guys haven't forgotten about us too.
Absolutely. And I think this is going to be a major year for growth. Like, we've been just getting inspired by a lot of different things, like not only in our home. So like speaking of like even visiting our friends' homes, like we've been noticing different things that they have going on. It's like, oh, that'd be really cool to incorporate like our friends Megan and Max. Like we went to their house shortly after the holidays, and they still had some of their Christmas decorations up, and instead of like an actual tree, they have this bookshelf thing that they have, and it you put your big books at the bottom and it starts to go up into a point, and they just wrap lights around it, so it's like a book tree. So I was like, that's that's really creative. And if you have an apartment and you don't have a lot of space, like making trees out of any, like whether it be a book tree, or I always joke around like we should just get like a little Charlie Brown tree to put on the coffee table, or
Ash would tear that up.
she would tear it up. Also, I've seen people that do like a Christmas tree and they put it on the ceiling.
It would have to be on the ceiling. Knowing that cat.
A Christmas tree on the ceiling, I think that's one of the dopest ideas ever, just because it's like, and we have a weird space. So like if you come in and you see a Christmas tree upside down, lit up on the ceiling, it just adds to like the weirdness of our space. So like, and then just noticing, just noticing different little things, about their home, like just like they have a lot of a wide assortment of wine glasses, as well as just their video game stuff. Like they have a lot of pop culture references just because they game a lot as a couple. So they have like little Star Wars Lego thing I noticed, or in their corner for their old gaming consoles, they have this old TV just specifically set for that. So it's like an old PlayStation, like a PlayStation 2, and then they just play all their old games
nostalgic.
on there. Yeah, it's very nostalgic. Like it's a little gaming corner. So I think just taking that inspo from different people, like just seeing what we can incorporate in our space, and thinking about what we can do going forward in the future, just to make it more us, to make it more fun, make it more inviting.
Yeah, and feel very just cozy and like a warm environment where you just want to stay all the time. Because at the end of the day, your house should be your sanctuary.
Absolutely, as well as just, thinking about what we want to do in the future. Like, as you're getting older, you just have to be more intentional about everything in general, like your friendships and keeping those close. And like, that's something we've talked about going into the new year, is just like having more dinner parties or inviting more of our friends over just to entertain them, just because we've built out a space and we have a space together now.
Yeah.
So thinking about that, and then, other plans for the years, like just, expanding the podcast. And I think going into the podcast, we just really want to get our feet wet and talk about things that we know. Like fashion is where we live and where we reside, so we feel very comfortable with that. But I think going into this year, some of our, like, spanning from our guests to just the topics we talk about, I think we don't want to limit ourselves. We always want to talk about whether it's fashion and things that go hand in hand with fashion, like whether it be art, home decor, thinking about music. Like all of these things go hand in hand with fashion. And if you've noticed, like anybody that's fashionable is usually a creative in some sort of way. Yeah. So whether, like, even if they are fashionable, they might not be like a stylist or a designer. Like they might be someone that is a photographer, videographer, or they might make
in digital art.
Yeah, make their
social
own
media
art.
Management. Anything like that.
So I think definitely going into the new year, look out for those things from us. Definitely working on getting more consistent and staying consistent. Definitely when we started, we started off very hot, but a lot of different things happened during that time, whether it was...
I fractured my wrist.
Namina fractured her wrist and broke her toe, and then...
that was such a crazy morning.
That was a crazy morning. And then worrying about moving in together, consolidating stuff, handling work, our families coming into town, meeting for the holidays. That was a big deal, and we were running around like crazy for that. So we weren't even like, we said like, oh, we should record before our families come, but like that just wasn't realistic because we had so much stuff going on. So definitely going into the new year, thinking about those things, just staying consistent, bringing on more collected guests, like from different backgrounds, talking about the fashion aspect, but also what inspires them creatively, as well as just, big plans for 2024, like goals in terms of continue with the podcast, making it bigger, where we want to pod at. Like we would love to podcast live from like a fashion show or from an art museum or something like that. Just different things to put ourselves out there and just, so people can understand what we're about and our ideas.
Agreed.
But yes, thank you everyone for coming back with us. It's going to be a fun ride for 2024. So thanks for locking in with us in 2023, and just stay tuned for what's on the horizon.
Yes. Can't wait to talk to you again.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.